Welcome to TrestleTimes Talks, the voice of Franklin, New Hampshire. This is brought to you by the Franklin Communications Group, which is a nonpartisan, volunteer-powered network bringing local news and community stories to your ears. Subscribe to stay informed, share to keep your neighbors in the know, and if you've got news to share, the contact details are in the show notes. Now, here's what's happening in Franklin. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We are continuing on with our candidate interview series. Today we are pleased to welcome Lilly Machos, who is running for City Council in Ward 3, the ward that I actually live in. Welcome. So first off, we just want to kind of get to know you a little bit, Lilly. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. So obviously my name is Lilly Machos, and I moved to Franklin about 11 years ago with my family. Married 20 years, 3 children. One just graduated Franklin High School this past June. I have another currently enrolled in Franklin High School. And my daughter was at the middle school, and she asked to try something different this year. So we do have her enrolled in a private school now, but we'll see how that goes. And I graduated from Southern New Hampshire University in, oh boy, hold on a second, 2003.
A while ago.
Yeah. With my bachelor's in business administration with a concentration in marketing.
Wonderful.
And I've done a little bit of everything over the years. I worked in the buying office at Filene's. I used to work for the DRA. I worked there for a couple of years, DRA for New Hampshire. And I worked in banking for a little bit before, in real estate a little bit before starting my family.
Wonderful. Thank you for getting us to know you a little bit. So what inspired you to run for city council?
Honestly, I've been involved with many groups over the years since I've been here. And I got to know Lee quite a bit when I found out that he had elected not to run again. I thought about putting my hat in the ring as well. And when I found out at the time there weren't any other women running, I figured it was time to try something new. And I know a lot of people in town. My children are in the schools, and I have a vested interest in continuing to move Franklin forward. I live here too. I'm a taxpayer as well.
You're one of us? Oh my goodness.
Yes. So I have a vested interest in what goes on. You see me I've been to many city council meetings, committee meetings for different things over the years. And I just wanted to have a more of a voice and be a voice for maybe other parents that maybe can't get to the meetings, or just a different perspective.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. And for those who want to know, what qualifications are you bringing to the role with you?
I am a people person. I enjoy talking with everybody, and learning people's different perspectives. If there's a point of view, for example, that we might not agree on, I want to hear other people's perspectives of, okay, where is our difference of opinion here? And likewise, on the opposite end, if we don't agree on something, there's got to be something that we can't agree on. Because the more you talk to people, you find out the more you have in common.
That's true.
So I think my focus on really finding the common ground that we all have and building from there.
That's great. I like it. What vision do you have for the city of Franklin?
Well, again, this is my unique perspective. I've been here 11 years, and we came in, I think, at a really interesting time. Been here long enough to kind of know the sore reputation that it had.
Yeah.
And we were here for the first huge turnover of the city council, and then it was a big turnover of the school board, and then it was the big turnover of the administration in the buildings. At the time, my kids were in, my oldest was in the elementary school, and then there was the big clean turnover at the middle school, and each step of the way, there's been positives, and I like, I change makes people uncomfortable. That's just human nature. But in order to grow, we have to be uncomfortable for a little while.
Yeah.
And we have to kind of say, okay, well, what's working? Let's keep that. And what's not working? And figure out, okay, well, why isn't it working? And change it. Just because it's what we've always done doesn't mean we have to continue doing it.
Right. Okay.
So my vision for Franklin is to keep moving forward on a positive track and acknowledge where changes need to be made.
Well, I like that. Okay.
And
That's very.
and I think that we need to. I want to see more working together.
Okay.
City council with the school board, and maybe helping to make our schools better, have more interaction with community learning opportunities, and really be a bridge to help cover some of those gaps.
Excellent. So next we're going to talk about community issues and policy questions. Many residents are concerned about affordability. How would you like to address that? The cost of living in Franklin. What is your take on that?
The cost of living in general is not going to go down
Yeah.
ever. And it's not just Franklin. And I know that that does not make anybody, including myself saying it, feel better to hear
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it's true. It is everywhere. And we need to understand that, a lot of big hot button issues is the tax cap. I'm not I'm not necessarily in favor of it, but I'm not necessarily against it. I understand the purpose of it. I also know that it should be reevaluated every few years, and
Yeah.
it hasn't been reevaluated in a long time.
Mm.
And so we can't keep trying to do more and more with less and less.
I definitely finished that sentence in my head. You painted a great picture there. Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you think the city can do to attract and retain well-paying employers?
Well, first, I want to say how very, very lucky we are that we have Watts
Mm.
here in Franklin.
Yeah.
They are a huge, huge, huge boon to our city. And they do a lot partnering with local organizations and sponsorships. And I know that right now, I believe they're trying to work with the high school actually to try to get some sort of a program happening there. Um, and they did before a couple of years ago, but I don't know what happened. It just didn't get going. But they're trying to get that kick started. And I think I am very, very happy with all of the businesses that have come into Franklin
Yeah.
over the last few years. That's been amazing growth. I know that when I first moved here, there was way more empty storefront windows.
There's dust in the wind.
And no one likes to see that. I think to attract more well-paying employers, companies want to invest in cities and towns and places where there is a strong, solid community base,
Yeah.
and where there is a solid school. If you want people to invest in Franklin for the future, we need to take care of the future, which is our kids.
Excellent. Thank you. Infrastructure has been an ongoing issue. What are your plans or ideas or thoughts about tackling deferred maintenance, like road repairs or things of that nature?
The first thing is a line item needs to be added into the budget specifically for road repairs.
Yeah, because there's something that's going to happen all the time, right?
Right. One idea that I had, and again, this has all of these decisions have to be made by the council collectively.
Yes.
One person, two people can bring ideas, and then it's up to the council and the community really to formulate a plan. An idea is just an idea until you have people and more ideas behind it to put the plan together.
Yeah.
I would like to see each department have a portion. I don't know, maybe it's an eighth of a percent, for example. I'm literally like pulling that number out of the air, okay? But as an example, and put that, it specifically has to go for
upkeep and maintenance, repair.
That's it. Because
Okay,
all the city vehicles travel all the city roads anyways.
Yep.
So if you're having trouble creating a new budget item, then just pull it from what we already have and add it in that way. That might be a good place to start. But before we can pave any roads, we need to. I know that I've gotten letters in the mail. I don't know if you have, about our water and the sewer pipes, and those are going to be needing repair as well in different areas as they get older and they age. And if something is broken, if a pipe breaks or whatever, we don't want to go through all the expense of paving all the roads and then 2 years later say, oh, hey, guess what? Now we're going to fix all the pipes. It just doesn't make any sense. You're throwing money out the window.
That's a very good idea.
Let's look at what's under the road first and start there. And then as we fix things, pay them.
Yeah.
That
makes
to
sense.
me, that's just logical thinking. You can start by paving over the worst road. That's great. Well, what happens if that's first on the list for new pipes? Then what?
Yeah. You need to talk to each other, the different parts of the
different parts of the machine need to all work together, and communication definitely needs to be better.
Yes. Yeah. Information is good to have too, right?
Yeah.
Are there any specific concerns in your ward at all that you'd like to address?
Not really. I do have issue in general with speeding.
Yeah.
I know that my son walks to school in the morning, and he walks home in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I see how cars fly up and down School Street, for example, because it's the side of 43 that I live on. And I hold my breath. I've seen cars run that stop sign on the school bus. Okay, thank you. And I cringe every time because it's so dangerous, and it makes me wonder. These are our kids. Where is the enforcement on the speed limits?
Okay, that's good. Thank you. We had an episode a couple months back about school funding. How do you see Franklin moving forward successfully with public school?
I do not like the fact that Franklin is, I believe, the only city in the state of New Hampshire that only allots 35% of their tax dollars to the school. And the rest goes to the municipality.
Okay.
We need to equal that out a little bit. And in the same respect, I think that we really need to more people really should tune into the school board meetings. I
Yeah.
believe they are the third Wednesday or Monday of every month. But and they are all recorded, so you can go online and find them and listen to them.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
they're always empty, and I think that more people would have a better idea of what's going on with our school funding if they paid attention to the meetings and
Yeah.
actually listened to um, some of the things that are happening in the district, some of the good things. And it's also a chance for our community to raise concerns to the school board,
That's true.
not just the city council, because the school board does also do public commenting session, and I believe they do in the beginning and at the end also, which on a side note is something I noticed. Oh, your next topic is city council meeting.
So, moving on to our next question. City council meetings can be long and demanding. How would you like to, make them effective and engaging sessions instead?
One of the meetings, more recent meetings, constituent made a very astute observation, and I 100% agree with her, that there's public comment in the beginning of city council meetings. And then the city council does their job, and then the meeting is adjourned. It really would be beneficial for the community as a whole, and I think for the council too, to be able to better do their job if they also had, like this woman had suggested, a public comment portion after the meeting, or allow for a 5 minutes in between each agenda item for the public to give their feedback.
On
That
what they're
will
talking about. Yeah.
engage the community a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's very, very frustrating as a resident. If not everybody can find the packets that are available on the city website. It's very clunky, it's very cumbersome, and if you don't know exactly where to look, even I still have trouble, because sometimes I'll go on to look for it. It's not where it was last month. It's somewhere different. And not everybody, I know this is going to be a shocker, but not everybody's on Facebook. I purposefully limit my time on social media. And that's why I actually haven't even announced me personally my candidacy on the politics page or anything else, because I'd rather be out there talking with people and volunteering my time in the community. But if you don't have a packet and you don't know what's being talked about, you're sitting there in the audience at these city council meetings, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are clueless, because they
Or
don't.
you want to say something so bad and you're just like,
You can't, exactly, and I really think that's where inserting a public comment after each agenda item, and yes, limit the time to five minutes, unless there's a lot. If there's a lot of people, 10 minutes. But also maybe have it be more accessible by having maybe a projector. It's pretty easy now. Plug it into a laptop and shine it behind the city council members, so the people that are in the audience can see what they're talking about.
yeah.
I know in recent meetings, there's been charts and graphs and blueprints talked about, but the general public can't see what they're talking about because it's on a packet in front of them.
Yeah.
People need to see, and they want to know, and they want to learn about what's going on in their community. And again, that goes back to, just because we've done things a certain way for so long doesn't mean we have to continue doing it that way. If we want to make things more accessible, then let's do things that will try to make it more accessible.
Yeah, you could even have scan the QR code to get the link to the packet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Post it on the front door of City Hall. Put it in all the public buildings around town. The library, even at the schools. Get the kids more involved. I know that civics is now a graduation requirement. So have students at the high school become more engaged that
Yeah,
way.
because they do have opinions and concerns too. Yeah.
And and sooner or later they're going to be voters as well.
Yeah.
And if you want people to stay in the community that they've grown up in, you need to meet them where they are.
I like it. Thank you for sharing. So election and leadership. Voters will be choosing other leaders, including the mayor. Do you publicly support any candidate for mayor this year? You do not have to answer the question if you don't want to, of course.
I am supporting Glenn Morrill. That is my own personal choice.
Yeah.
I have had many conversations with Desiree as well, and I all lines of communication open.
Yeah.
I want to talk with everybody.
Yeah.
If I am willing to work with everybody, and I'm going to leave it at.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Um, from your perspective, what are Franklin's greatest strengths and how would you build on them and use them, as a council member?
Well, now that's an easy one. I think two of Franklin's greatest strengths. Number one is the Franklin pride, and it runs deep. And the other is the strength of this community.
Yeah.
Talking with people that have lived here their entire lives and hearing the stories of how it used to be a bustling place until those closed.
Yeah.
And so again, that change makes people uncomfortable, but sometimes you need to reinvent in order to survive.
Yeah, because it's going to happen one way or another. You gotta
And
pick. Why not pick?
do you want to just survive, or do you want to thrive?
Yeah, let's
And
thrive.
and if it's a personal choice that you're okay just surviving, you've been here all your life, and okay, well, good. What about the people that are going to come after you? What kind of story do you want to leave behind?
Yeah, that's a
And
very
I
good
think,
question.
and I really think that again, the more you get out and talk to people, people are coming here. I
Yeah,
see new faces downtown every day, and I like it. I like going to see the shows, which are all over town now because we're still waiting for the Soldiers Memorial Hall renovation to be completed.
yeah,
But I like going and seeing new faces. I love going to see the kids perform. They have a lot of fun, and it's something for them to do, and it makes them want to be more engaged. That leads to other opportunities. I see kids helping down at Odell Park. I see the Boy Scouts
yeah.
helping out during Community Day,
Nice.
and those are really the strengths of working together that we can easily build on. Every connection is a resource,
That's true.
and value doesn't necessarily have to have a dollar sign attached to it.
Yeah,
There's more value in working together despite your differences to accomplish a common goal and get it done
yeah,
than there is in arguing for months and months and months over pennies.
yeah.
Because
Okay.
that's when those pennies turn into millions.
They do. You
The
hold
longer you
on,
wait, the more it's going to cost.
right? So, uh, closing and personal note, what do you feel sets you apart from other candidates in your ward or just other candidates across the city? Because you will be representing the entire city. So,
That's right. That's right. Um, I think because and this is where I'm going to my counterpart who is running as well, Justine. Her and I agree on a lot more than we disagree on.
yeah,
And as far as being set apart, from my running particularly there. I'm not sure exactly what it is because I've worked with her on many things, and we both have kids in the school district.
Yeah.
I think that alone, I don't right now. I think there might be one city member that has a student in the school district.
Yeah, so it gives you a lot of person.
Yeah, and it's more personal experience that I'm bringing. And again, I live here, and I pay taxes here too, so I have
Yeah, we have to
a
remember
vested
that. Yeah.
interest in seeing what happens and helping to continue to move forward. And again, I really want to work with everybody, um, and really work to be the bridge that helps people understand each other and
Yeah.
not be working against each other, because there's so much hatred in the world already. We don't, and
Yeah,
politics is
we're a
getting
community,
disgusting.
right? Yeah.
Politics is getting disgusting all over the place, all over the place, and it it needs to stop because that's not how you get things done. But
Cooperation.
cooperation makes it happen.
Okay, great. So how can residents get in touch with you or follow your campaign or support you?
So, anyone that has any questions or comments or just wants to say hi or meet for coffee or whatever, I've set up an email address that I have paid for. It is a private, encrypted address, and it is Franklin underscore lives at proton.me.
Excellent.
And that is how people can get in touch with me directly. Or if you see me on the street, say hello. I am currently, just for transparency's purposes, I am currently working part time as an admin assistant for Franklin Opera House. Elected to the city council, it is my intention, and I will be resigning that post if I am elected, to just get any perceived conflicts of interest off the table.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Thank you for telling us.
yeah, and I am. We have a office downtown right now. It's actually right across from Children's Memorial Hall. Pop in and say hi. I'm there 4 days a week in the afternoon, till about 1 o'clock. And other than that, just send me an email, say hi, and I'd appreciate hearing from anybody that has any questions or concerns.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Lily, for sharing that with us and making yourself available. Is there one final message you'd like to leave with the voters of
Yes.
Franklin?
Remember that there is a Meet the Candidate session tonight at the Elks.
Okay.
And I believe that starts at 6 o'clock. And remember, there has been some changes to voting registration. And there will be more details. Actually, I'm not going to read the whole sheet because they're a little bit extensive, but there will be copies available tonight if you'd like to show up at the candidate session. I look forward to meeting you.
Great. Thank you so much for having come on our show today, and also so your constituents can get to know you a little bit better. I really appreciate that. I hope you have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to the TrestleTimes Talks from the Franklin Communications Group. Like, subscribe, and share to support local voices. And if there's news we should cover, our contact info is in the notes. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay Franklin strong.